Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have EZA Jiren. We have his EZA TEQ EZA Jiren. His EZA is actually live in-game now. So we can kind of go ahead and take a look at how good this guy is going to be. I do unfortunately think that this guy is going to fall quite short of a lot of the other recent EZAs we've seen. I do unfortunately think so. They did not give this guy a lot of the power. Like, I think even like Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta, which at this point on JP came out 6 months ago, like I think they're going to be like way ahead of this guy, just as an example, right? So we've got him EZA'd. Let's take a look at the build we're going to use here. Now, Jiren, I truly don't think that this guy has a wrong build. He could use everything. Literally everything could be good for this guy. Raw attack, raw defense, additional crit dodge. It all could be good. It all would give you value. Jiren's defenses are not going to be as good as they should be. I don't think his damage is going to be as high as it probably should be. His damage is also not going to be very consistent, nor his defense is going to be consistent. Because of his restrictions, right? Sometimes he's going to look perfect. He's going to be looking good. Other times, I think it maybe won't be so good. Maybe I'm underselling some of his numbers a little bit, but we'll see once we jump in. Now, the reason I'm kind of going attack equips and then more kind of like an offensive focused build here, my main reasoning for this is because I want to try and beat Goku and Frieza with a full Universe 11 team. Like, the mission is 4 Universe 11 characters, which will be easy to do. But I want to do it with 6 Universe 11 characters, which is not going to be as easy to do. So I'm going to give it a try. I mean, am I going to be able to get it done? We'll see. I think that this guy probably needed to be a little bit better for it to be more of like... I think we could win pretty easily, but I mean, it could also be a nightmare. Because remember, if we're going to run full Universe 11, let me just take a look at this real quick. So here's the new team screen, by the way. Let's just pull out what Universe 11 would look like. So, okay. We do AGL Jiren, TEQ Jiren, those two. Then we'd have Dispo. And then the last slot, who are we bringing, man? Margarita, STR Jiren. It's bad. It's bad. We could do Margarita. We could bring Margarita, but there's the dodge canceling phase. She's dead in there. And then it's like STR Jiren. I mean, this guy's the worst character of 2023. So that mission might be tough. We'll see. We'll see. Well, the mission's not going to be hard, but full Universe 11, that would be tough. All right, let's jump in for TEQ Jiren. We'll just go into maybe one of the new Supreme Magnificent Battle fights or something like that. Kind of see how Jiren's going to look. TEQ Jiren does need to get hit a lot of times. You know, because his active, which we'll be able to get, he needs to get hit in total, what is it, 5 times? Then he needs to get hit a couple of times in order to build up ki and stuff like that. You know, I wouldn't really be scared of you know, here, we'll just do this. We'll just build that Universe 11 team. I wouldn't really be too scared of Jiren, right? Like, giving him dodge and, worrying about having to get hit. But specifically because of the damage check that the Goku and Frieza fight has, I feel like I got to give this guy offense. So, all right, let's jump into a fight. Let's see how good EZA LR TEQ Jiren is going to be. All right, guys, we are here in an event. I decided that the new God of Destruction, Gathering of the Gods of Destruction stages are here. And honestly, I mean, these stages aren't really too tough. I think these will make actually for good showcase stages. I probably am going to just make these my kind of generic ones because these fights could go longer. I mean, these are at least legitimate bosses, right? All these bosses are supering right around the 2 million threshold. So, I mean, we could see them against legitimate enemies, right? Now, okay, Jiren. One of the big things about LR TEQ Jiren that I'm hugely disappointed in about him right away is this. Jiren does not have crit built into his kit unless the enemy can be debuffed. I think that sucks. It's just, I mean, sure, it does mean that we actually, get more value from his hidden potential system crit, which is why I gave him a lot of it, but, I mean, it's not 2022 anymore. Jiren is kind of, like, he just feels exposed, because all these other characters, here, let's just look at Universal Survival Saga right here. So if we, no, what's the best way to do this? Here, let's do this. So I could just point out, like, every other character has got built-in crit, except for him, basically. So let's look at this. So this is like the order of characters releasing during the celebration. Like, he's got a ton of crit in there. They got a ton of crit. They got a ton of crit, right? Like, Jiren has a ton of crit. Like, every character coming out has a lot of crit, except for this TEQ Jiren. Now, you know, defense is always more important than damage and stuff like that, but, you know, I'm looking at this TEQ Jiren through the lens of the Universe 11 mission and this guy needing to be utilized in there. So I don't know why, you know, I thought he was going to have guaranteed crit at 24 key. Makes a ton of sense. All right, so we are going to get up to 24 key. This is something I think that potentially could be a negative for LR TEQ Jiren, because as part of his passive, he does need to get hit 5 times, because that would proc, like, his active skill. You know, he does get a guaranteed additional super after he gets hit 3 times, stuff like that, right? So, he has an attack break at 24 key, which certainly I think would be valuable in some of these fights, but, I mean, yeah. All right, so let's see. So, turn 1, Jiren has 30% damage reduction, so he's at 17 million right here. He is super effective against all types. Are we going to get the guaranteed additional right away? We do, I believe. So this is because we got hit 3 times. He dodges. No hidden potential system additional, so maybe not. All right, now we did get all of the hits we need to build him up. So Jiren gets 3 key every time he receives an attack up to 11. So he has to get hit 4 times to fully build that up. He has to get hit 5 times to proc his active. Now, in the God of Destruction event, you know, I specifically picked this fight because there's several phases. We can actually kind of spread our wings a little bit and kind of like see how characters are going to do without the boss dying in 2 seconds and just a super short fight, right? Like, that's why I intentionally did that. Here, let's go ahead and proc this. We'll do the standby with Jiren. This is a Jiren centered showcase. So I don't mind actually playing the animation right here since it's a Jiren focused showcase. Alright, so that is going to give us additional support for TEQ Jiren next turn. Alright, so let's have AJL UI Goku go first. AJL UI Goku, of course, could be quite good for TEQ Jiren, because AJL UI Goku, remember, is going to give that crit support on his 18 key super attack for 2 turns. So UI Goku doing this is this dude is dodging a lot, huh? I mean, that's good if I want the fight to last a little bit longer, I suppose. The crit support from UI Goku should still have procced. On this next turn, we'll go a little bit more in-depth. We'll talk about the things that TEQ Jiren is doing here. Again, he's fully built up. We could utilize his active skill here as well. This enemy is immune to all debuffs. I guess one thing I did do is I did jump into a stage where all the debuffs are up there for all the enemies, but the one thing about Jiren is a debuff just allows him to crit, which, you know, I've got a decent amount of crit in my Jiren, so we could just do that anyway. I mean, I'll hold on to the active skill, I guess. Okay, again, let's just go over what Jiren is going to do now, you know, going over a lot of his abilities. So, in terms of Jiren's super attack effects, his 18 key super attack is going to give him 100% attack and defense for 1 turn. That's really good. Mega Colossal damage, massively lowers enemy defense, 80% enemy defensive debuff, and then a 50% chance to stun. Stun, of course, good for Battlefield and Super Battle Road and stuff like that. 12 key super attack effect is also pretty good. He gets 50% attack and defense for 1 turn, lowers enemy defense by 50% for 1 turn. His passive, he gets 300% attack and defense at the start of turn. He has 30% damage reduction his first turn. That is good. I do really like that, but I feel like it probably should have just been permanent for him. Considering the rest of his kit, I think that probably should have just been permanent. 30% damage reduction for the whole fight. If HP is 40% or over at the start of turn, he gets 100% attack and defense, and he has guard. So he does have conditional guard here. I mean, if you end up below 50% HP, this guy is a loser, flat out. Just, he sucks. Considering the standard we have to hold characters to now, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. If HP is below 40% at the start of the turn, Or if HP is below 80% at the start of the turn after turn 5, he gets another 200% attack and defense. So, I mean, that, like, when I think about this guy in the Universe 11 mission, it is going to be crucial to get that up. I mean, I think it should be pretty easy to do because, like, you know, Topo a lot of times can tank, but he'll take damage. It's going to be a similar thing with, like, AGL Jiren. The problem is that Universe 11 doesn't really have slot 1s, because AGL Jiren doesn't really do slot 1 very well, but whatever. Then he gets 3 ki every time he gets hit, up to a max of 11. After Jiren gets hit 3 times, he gets a guaranteed additional super. He's super effective against all types at the start of turn. It's not 2018, 2017 anymore. He should just be guaranteed critting at 24 ki. Like, super effective against all types is not going to matter when bosses have a 10 million damage cutoff, right? If the enemy isn't attack down, defensive down, or is stunned, he does a guaranteed crit. For some reason, it doesn't say seal there. So, you know, I mean, so keep that in mind. When his ki is 24, he attack breaks the enemy 1 time on that turn. That is definitely useful. We could maybe combo that with EGL Full Power Jiren Scouter. I think we could certainly do that. I'll save... Wait, who do I put in slot 1 here? Huh. This is problematic. I guess we could put Topo and Pride Troopers in slot 1. I suppose I'll do that. I mean, EGL Jiren, is he gonna die in slot 1? It's the friend Jiren, so he's not gonna have, like, cheeky dodge. Does he have defensive equips by any chance? He doesn't. He does actually have cheeky dodge. Let's just see. Let's leave this Jiren. Nah, we'll do Topo and Pride Trooper. Topo and Pride Trooper. Because they're at least... Yeah, I feel like we got a little bit of a better shot. Look at TEQ Jiren's ki, by the way, starting the turn at 24. Once he gets several hits, that's going to be a thing that's going to happen. His defense... I know he does get 100% and then, you know, 50% from his 2 super attack effects. But, like, remember, in his passive, like, he doesn't even have a multiplicative buff, right? Or is it... Yeah, it's just raw stats. All right, let's see what we do. I think we potentially could take a ton of damage here. I mean, we do need to do that in order to proc Jiren's shit anyway. Okay. All right, so that's going to knock us below 80% HP. If we could stay there... What turn are we on? It's turn 4. Yeah, so if we stay under 80% HP, in 2 turns, we'll get that extra 200% for him. And we could pop the active skill, and we'll see him maxed out, which will be good. All right, so here's TEQ Jiren. 20 million. All right, sure. Remember, we do have the support from AGL Jiren on the other rotation, the 70% for 2 turns. We do get the crit. We get the attack break. This is a guaranteed additional right here. Hopefully, Jiren can give us the hidden potential system as well. By the way, I'm a little concerned because I look at those attack stats. That, we get the hidden potential system, but it's a normal like always. That attack stat, by the way, was 12 million, right, is additional. That's under the threshold for Goku and Frieza. Remember, the threshold for Goku and Frieza, 15 million attack stat with crit. So, you know, and that's, again, like, maybe some people would say, like, oh, you can't judge him by that fight, but, like, I'm going to because there's a literal Universe 11 mission. And, I mean, we've already looked at Universe 11 in this video, but would you guys like me to take a look at the Universe 11 category one more time? Let's do it. Let's take a look at the Universe 11 category one more time. Again, I do have to kind of, and especially free-to-play players, I mean, of course, right? Like, this guy, this Jiren is going to kind of be like, you know, who we're thinking. Like, look at this category. There's a mission for this in the hardest fight in the game, so... I'm going to save Jiren's active, actually, because we don't have UI Goku's domain up yet. We can really max his ass out. All right, let's hope for whatever chance... No, even if, let's say we die on this turn, right? We'll be okay. Because UI Goku would revive us at 77% HP, which would be below Jiren's threshold. So, okay, maybe that, you know, could be an intention there. He'll synergize well with EGL UI Goku, which, again, they link very well, EGL UI Goku and Jiren. What exactly do they have? They have 5 links together. That's the one thing I didn't go over TEQ Jiren's link set. We should look at that. TEQ Jiren does share 7 out of 7 with EZA Jiren in his base form and in his full power form. With the standby, remember, one of his links does turn into Cold Judgment, though. All right, there's a super attack. We have 100% dodge, right? Yeah. EZA UI Goku's dodge is really crazy. And then we could pop, you know, TEQ UI Goku's domain to give TEQ Jiren even more damage. I don't know. TEQ Jiren, here's the thing with TEQ Jiren. He doesn't make, like, any of these legitimate teams. Okay, so, like, Jiren, he's not one of the 6 best Universal Survival Saga characters. I mean, maybe he could be useful on Realm of Gods. Realm of Gods is definitely worse than Universal Survival Saga, although I guess there's a huge amount of overlap there. I mean, Jiren, he doesn't have restrictions. Yeah, he doesn't. So, like, I could think about Jiren on, like, we could think about him on some of these teams, and he raises the floor of a lot of these teams because he doesn't have restrictions, right? So, like, he's buffing Space Traveling Warrior, Defender of Justice, potentially powerful comeback, right? Maybe full power, like super bosses, maybe. Like, some of these teams, because he doesn't have any restrictions to speak of, you know, he does raise the floor of a lot of those categories. So if Dokkan is at least going to give us a reasonable strength character, which I would argue this Jiren is a reasonable strength character, it at least is going to raise the floor for a lot of those teams, which I will take that. That's fine. Let's go ahead and do the full power transformation right here. Again, okay, so look at Jiren, right? His link set, by the way, is Supreme Warrior, Shocking Speed, Infighter, Godly Power, Tournament of Power, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. Again, with Standby Jiren, he only has 6 out of 7. But with Full Power Jiren or Base LR Jiren, he'll have more. Next turn... Okay, so now that we reach this turn, Jiren... Yeah, look at his defense right there. It's shot up. He has the extra 200% activated now. Because it's turn... Start of turn after 5th turn. Start of turn after 5th turn. It's not activated yet. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not up. It's not. Next turn it will be. Yeah, because Jiren started on turn 2. It's that bullshit. They gave him that bullshit as well. God damn it. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Jiren is not getting the love that most of the releases of 2024 got. I think AGL LR Jiren is fine. I don't really have issues with him. TEQ Jiren is not up to the level of, like, Team Universe 7 and 17 and Golden Frieza, who EZA'd in this celebration, right? I don't think so. TEQ Jiren, he's not bad. He's not great. He's either mid or good. TEQ Jiren. Just from what I'm seeing, I mean, he doesn't have, like, category restrictions or character restrictions. So again, like, we could run him on all these teams, but there's a lot of different, like, HP threshold shit that we have to worry about. And again, right here, it's past turn 5, but it's not his 5th turn, so it's not actually activated. I hate that shit. All right, so we'll have the 2 Jirens together. Next turn, we're going to have TEQ Jiren. He's actually just going to outright be maxed out next turn. TEQ UI Goku Domain, 7 out of 7 links. We're going to have physical topo support. We'll see how good this boy is going to look. Okay, remember, I want to not get same type orbs. We want to stay basically exactly at the HP level we're at right now. Because we want to be... Because we need to go into this next turn with TEQ Jiren under 50%. I guess I could have put TEQ Jiren in slot 1, actually, so we could have seen him attack. Damn it. Yeah, I autopiloted AGL Jiren in slot 1 thinking that the super attack might be there. Remember, that's the other thing. TEQ Jiren, I mean, guys, TEQ Jiren is just flat out not good enough to go slot 1. Not good enough at all. If you have him with 28 dodge, sure. But if he's not like 28 dodge, that shit ain't happening. All right, again, we're going to max out Jiren completely here. We're going to get... I mean, this is going to be juiced by a lot. We have, you know, TEQ Goku's domain is up. We're going to have EGL Jiren 2-turn support, the active skill, all of his buffs. I mean, we're gonna see what TEQ Jiren can do. Let's go ahead and do this. We're going to leave him in slot 2, by the way. I think I will pop this. Maybe we'll just try and kill Liquor right here. Again, there is a full another fight after this guy. All right, so let's make sure not to get same type orbs here, because we don't want to... here, I'll give the 5 orbs to AGL Jiren back there, because we don't want to heal up past the threshold. We want to have all of Jiren's possible buffs up next turn, which we will have. So we'll see. I do want to get... So we're going to have the Mega Juice turn next turn. I do feel like I want to get a little bit more footage of him, though, because, like, we missed him attacking last turn. Although last turn wouldn't have been any different because we didn't have the HP percentage buff. I hate that. I think... So, okay, if HP is 40% or below at the start of turn, he gets to 200% attack and defense from that turn onwards. I think that's fine. But the second condition, like, you should have just get rid of the HP shit and then get rid of the 5th turn from start of turn and just make it from 5th turn of the start of battle, he gets the extra 200%. I think would have been fair. Because it's just, it's a very restrictive ability. Keep in mind, let's say we're on turn, 2 or 3 or something like that. HP's below 40%, we trigger it early. That's awesome. But remember, when Jiren is under 40%, he loses his guard. His guard should not be restricted, and that 30% damage reduction should be permanent as well. I'm going to tell you guys this. Even if he had the 30% damage reduction and the permanent guard, I mean, on a lot of turns, he wouldn't be good enough for slot 1 even still. People don't understand what slot 1 means anymore. Like, what you have to do to go... You have to be Beast Gohan to just, like, pretty much, effortlessly be slot 1 in all these fights. It's very tough. Evolution Blue Vegeta, top 3 unit in the game for 6 months straight, is most of the time not a slot 1 character, right? Like, it's very difficult to go slot 1 with how hard enemies hit. Like, these 3 million plus supers, it's just craziness, right? All right, so this is, like, mega maxed Jiren. Now we do have the 200% is up because we're under 80% HP. It's past turn 5. Let's also pop his active skill right here. He needs to get hit 5 times for this. He gets permanent 30% attack and defense. Wait, no. Is it permanent or is it 1 turn? It's... he gets 30% attack and defense, all enemy minus 30% attack and defense, and stun for 1 turn. So let's go and get the extra stats from the active. We'll see what Jiren's going to look like. I mean, his numbers are going to be very high here because we have AGL Jiren 2-turn support, TEQ Goku domain. I'm going to want to get more footage of him after this, but yeah, we're juiced up heavily right here. All right. So let's see what we get. We'll go ahead and put Jiren in slot 1. Again, we got all of his buffs active. Domain 876 is what he's at. I mean, remember, he gets 100%, then he's going to get 50%. We'll see how he's going to look. We'll hit this. We'll hit Jiren. Topo is going to die at the end, but for the sake of seeing Jiren, that's fine. I don't mind. All right, let's go. All right, Jiren is at 44. Okay. So we've jumped up quite a bit. I mean, that's active skill buff, Jiren support, TEQ Goku support, all that. There's that. We can attack break. This is a guaranteed additional 28 million. Now, remember, we're not going to be able to replicate this in the Universe 11 mission because we can't use TEQ Goku's domain. There's that. One more. Hidden potential system additional. Super beautiful. Nice. So that's basically what maxed out TEQ Jiren looks like. That is good, but, I mean, understand the hoops we have to jump through. Oh, actually, no, we're just going to win because we're going to kill him. 56 for EZA Jiren. So, I mean, seeing those two back to back, I mean, that's like, you know, people would do the mean, oh my god, show this to people from 2020 Dokkan or something like that, right? Yeah. I think I do kind of want to get a little bit more footage out of Jiren. Maybe just like another turn or two. Maybe we could see what his active turn looks like when he's not like heavily giga wanked with like the UI domain and stuff like that. Let's just get like another turn or two. I think TEQ Jiren is, again, he's solid. People will be seduced by seeing some of these big numbers, and they enter potential man mode, and they go, oh my god, look what he can do. It's like, yeah, he can do that, but does he do that? That's the question you need to ask yourself. All right, guys, here we are on a turnaroo. We're going to have TEQ Jiren here. I mean, this is good, I guess, to get like a different kind of like rotation. We do have a lot of support. This is turn 1. All right, let's see what our boy TEQ Jiren is going to look like. Again, I want to just get a couple more rotations at TEQ Jiren, and then we'll finish up. Again, I mean, I know we get the explosive Twitter clip turn, which I will be tweeting out. But, I mean, he just looks, like, solid. The one thing I do like, no restrictions so that he can be impactful on a lot of category teams is definitely good. No additional at all right there. Okay. Again, you guys saw the build I gave him is basically full offense. You know, hoping for good luck with that Goku and Frieza fight. But we'll see. We'll see if I'm actually going to have good luck. All right, we'll just come back. Again, we're just trying to get some turns. I'll probably just pop this standby right here for our boy, you know, TEQ Jiren. We'll come back for Jiren's next turn. All right, guys. We're here for another turn. Now, certainly, I mean, we could talk about the fact that we would potentially struggle quite a bit. I don't, like, TEQ Jiren. Okay, so Catella is supering for around 2 million. That would obliterate TEQ Jiren, man. Like, when we're running him in all these fights, this is where it's kind of, they miss the mark here. Because, I mean, when we have standby Jiren out, he could go in slot 1 for sure. But, I mean, you know, if you can, you do want to put him in slot 2 to get that attack support. But TEQ Jiren can't go slot 1, and typically, this Jiren can't go slot 1 either. So, they just created, like, it's not really, like, a feasible rotation most of the time. Like, if we're actually gonna do it, it would be something more along the lines of this. This is the way we could have the two characters together, which is not particularly what we want to do, right? I would love to get TEQ Jiren in that first slot, but he probably just gets killed by Catella. I'm not even gonna risk it. Let's just continue the run going here. Okay, so Catella, by the way, can have his defense debuffed. Notice that. So, Jiren, that means TEQ Jiren is gonna have guaranteed crits on this turn, since Catella can actually be debuffed. So we'll see that. Again, we'll do a couple of more rotations, and then we'll finish up. I just kind of wanted to get some footage in, kind of seeing him. He's not exploding off of the screen to me. I don't know how it is for some of y'all, but like I could just tell that he's just a solid character. But I mean, with no restrictions, being able to potentially use him on all these teams, I mean, I can value that for sure, right? Like, it's not the worst. Doesn't he have a KO screen on his 18 key, by the way? We need to see that. Okay, yeah, we'll get a couple of more rotations, and then I'll probably just go to, like, a Dokkan event, and just quickly, we'll finish up with him getting that KO screen, because I definitely got to get that, yeah, for sure. Alright, guys, Topo and Pride Trooper didn't have a Universe 11 character on rotation, and they got taken down. I believe this is Sidra. They got, whatchamacallit, Sidra has AoEs, and he took down Topo and Pride Trooper. This is fine, though, because UI Goku reviving still puts us below 80% HP. So Jiren should have his ability up. Let's, I guess, just go ahead and transform EZA Jiren into full power Jiren. So, alright, we'll see this. Oh, there's the super. Wait. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Awesome. That's so good. That's great, dude. So, here's a combo we could do, right? We can AGL full power Jiren, his first turn, creates the Scouter, right? And then if it's a slot 2 super, or like a slot 3 super or something like that, we can do this. We can attack break it. Because remember, Jiren at 24 ki is going to have an attack break. So that's awesome. That's great. That's great. That's great. All right, so we'll let the Jiren boys go 50 million. Okay, sure. Yeah, that TEQ Goku domain is just so stupid, man. Okay, it's a lot of damage. Sure. That TEQ Goku domain, dude. What the hell? Remember, it does that for the bosses, too. All right, and then he's at 30. So here's a rotation where he's at 30 million. So, again, we've seen a couple of rotations from Jiren now. Seeing him kind of bouncing around. Remember, he's going to get the guaranteed additional. He's going to kill, but we were going to attack break Sidra's super attack right there. That's like, I think that is a great asset we potentially could have. All right, let me just get the KO screen on his 18 ki super, and we can finish up here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on here. So I just popped as active. I mean, we could, just get one more quick turn right here. I mean, hopefully Rumshi isn't going to super attack right away and blow TEQ Jiren away. I mean, we'll see what's going to happen here. All right, let's see. What do we get right here from TEQ Jiren? Oh, shit. Okay, well. All right, how are we eating this? We 3-dodged it? What? Okay. Well, we get the 18 ki KO screen as well. That matters because Rumshi stuns. So if Rumshi... I think Jiren probably would have lived that because Rumshi's only supering around 2 million. But he does stun, so we wouldn't have even gotten the super attack. Okay. Sure. Whatever, dude. Make sure you give your characters 3-dodge, kids. Okay, just 3-dodge. Make sure you're giving them 3-dodge. Make sure to remember to give them at least 3-dodge. No matter how much you hate dodge, don't take away your ability to do that. Don't do it. All right, guys. So there was EZA LR TEQ Jiren. Again, he's not bad. He's not great. He's kind of just like fine. Like he's mid. I think he can definitely help you out at some points. But, once you're going into a really tough fight, it's like messing around with all the different restrictions, I think is going to be a bit of an issue. But, I mean, we'll see how it's going to actually play out. So let's go and take a look at Jiren's kit right here. So this is Majesty of the Mighty Jiren full power. I think I like the Power of the Strong better. But this is the global translation, obviously. The Power of the Strong. That works for Jiren, yeah. So leader skill is Universal 11 or Universal Survival Saga, category key 3, 170% to stats. Sure, okay. His 12 key super attack is the Heat Wave Magnetron. So he gets 50% attack and defense for 1 turn, does, colossal damage to the enemy, and then greatly lowers enemy defense. That's a 50% defensive debuff. His 18 key, the Omega Heat Magnetron, he gets 100% attack and defense for 1 turn. It's a massively raises. He deals mega colossal damage to the enemy. He lowers enemy defense by 80%. Again, that's a massively lowering defense ability. And then he has a high chance to stun, a 50% chance to stun. The stun is good. Cell Max, Super Battlefield, stunning abilities you don't want to discredit. Those are very useful for some of the other content in the game. His passive skill, what do they got this here? Value of Victory is what they call it. Value of win. Dude, I like winning. Winning. There you go. So he gets 300% attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets 30% damage reduction for his first turn. So, I mean, that's where he's going to look good. Guard plus the damage reduction. I think this guy would have been significantly better if that damage reduction was permanent. If HP is 40% or more at the start of turn, he gets 100% attack and defense and then guaranteed guard. I think that this should be like maybe swap it to the 100% attack and defense. I don't know, just being start of turn. But maybe just give him 400% attack and even start of turn and then guard guaranteed. Like just remove this. Put this 100% up here and just change this line to just guaranteed guards against all attacks. I don't like it being conditional. It doesn't make sense. Especially, I think it's dumb. If HP is below 40% at the start of turn, he'll get 200% attack and defense from that turn onwards. Or, if HP is below 80% at the start of turn, from Jiren's 5th turn, so it would be his 3rd turn. He gets 200% attack and defense from that turn on. It's just, like, once he gets that, he starts to look pretty good. But he's got to get that. He needs to get that. Like, that's where he's going to start to look good. And if you get it super early, by falling below 40% HP, on that turn, you'd have to be a little cautious because he wouldn't be guarding. So, you know, you do want to keep that in mind. He gets 3 ki every time he receives an attack, up to 11. If he gets hit 3 times or more during battle, he gets a guaranteed additional super. That's obviously very good. We'll take that. He's super effective against all types. I'm not super high on that ability. I mean, I would much rather he just had an ability, a way to get crit. He does this next part right here. If the enemy he's hitting is attack down, defensive down, or stunned, he does a guaranteed crit. But, I mean, the very hardest fight in the game right now with the Universe 11 mission, which you need this guy for because he's one of the few Universe 11 characters, cannot be debuffed. So, you know, it sucks. Then when ki is 24, he does an attack break once for that turn. So there are several changes I would make to make him way better. I think very easily move his crit to at 24 ki, he does guaranteed crit. His guard should be guaranteed, and then the 30% damage reduction should be permanent. Give him those 3 things, and he's a much more effective character. I mean, at that point, he probably would be like potentially top 10. I mean, probably. But like right now, I mean, if you're curious, this guy is, he's not even close to being top 10. This guy is like more like he's like 20 or something like that. Like just as an example, the character that came out yesterday on Global, I'm taking them over easy, dude, easy, man. I'm taking them over TEQ Jiren 100 times out of 100, man. Absolutely. So, I mean, again, Jiren, he's not bad. It's just, this is one of those things. This, to me, is like a normal EZA that they've done for years. But the problem is, like, they go back to a normal EZA after giving us, like, the craziest fire ever for, you know, like Team Universe 7 and Golden Frieza in 17 are ridiculous. And TEQ Jiren is just kind of like a good, like, LR EZA. But he's not kind of like the 2024 LR EZAs we've seen. Then he has his active skill, which, his strength is everything. They didn't change that one. So he gets 30% attack and defense, active skill buff, which is big. Then all enemies, you know, minus 30% attack and defense, and guaranteed stun for 1 turn. I mean, that could be pretty good for Cell Max, actually. Just save that for when... That could be good for Cell Max. Because it's a start, like, you could pop it and stun him, Cell Max, before the turn, like, before he gets a chance to attack. That's good for Cell Max. Now that I'm thinking about that. Huh. Well, you know, actually, I mean, this guy, by the way, could EZA at any time. AGL Trunks, it's the same thing, right? When he transforms. Yeah, it's the same thing. This Trunks' transformation and Jiren's active, both could be, like, that's pretty, that for the Cell Max fight, that's pretty good. Cell Max is very tough. I would not be shocked if they added missions to that for Worldwide, too. You know, I remember they've done stuff like that all the time. Yeah, I just think, like, this is something you could easily get this in, like, Super Battle Road as well. Battlefield Metal Cooler, this would be very good for him. I mean, the stun, you need good RNG, but I could see the stun, because it's not like turn 5 or beyond or something like that. So, I mean, yeah. Well, although, again, Cell Max, it's turn 7 is when you could first start stunning Cell Max. So, I mean, that could be good for that. But obviously, the big attack buff and stuff like that, the stats is good. His links are Supreme Warrior. And you could do that, by the way, when he gets hit 5 times or more in battle. His links are Supreme Warrior, Shocking Speed, Infighter, Godly Power, Turnout Power, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. Just kind of typical links with Jiren. Here it says Best Linking Partners. Obviously, the other Jirens, TEQ UI Goku, AGL UI Goku. There's Evolution Blue Vegeta right there. So he links well with these very good Tournament Power characters, right, which is solid. 12 key multiplier is 150%. 24 key is 200%. Normal numbers we typically see. And then Jiren, let's go and take a look at the categories this boy has. Now, again, he doesn't have any category restrictions or character restrictions, so he is definitely a buff to all these teams. He does what I call raising the floor of that category, right? Like, Defender of Justice, perfect example. Like, now the Defender of Justice category is a little bit better with this guy being introduced to it, for example, right? So obviously, same with Universe 11. I mean, this guy is badly needed. Again, I think he's just like good or mid, not great, not bad. But I mean, he's a huge buff to Universe 11 for sure. Then there's also the Universal Survival Saga team. Now, he's probably not even a top 8 character on Universal Survival Saga. Probably not. This team is uber. Like, Topo is better than this guy. But, I mean, you know, again, it's definitely a good category. Then there's also the Realm of Gods category right here, which Jiren is on. I mean, Realm of Gods is, you know, mostly dominated by Tournament of Power right now, but we have some other good stuff like, you know, Carnival Gogeta and stuff like that. Then Jiren is also on full power. So, I mean, for example, he's on Broly's team. You know, we could rock, you know, Broly and AGL Jiren and TEQ Jiren and stuff like that together. I mean, we could now run super bosses with Topo's intro being up, by the way. Topo, AGL Jiren, TEQ Jiren. That would be good. I mean, super bosses, that probably is kind of the best build for super bosses towards winning all content, would be putting the 3 Universe 11 characters on there. I do think so. Because, like, AGL Jiren is very close to being the best character on super bosses, right? Cell Max is obviously number 1. Then there's also the Space Traveling Warrior category Jiren is a part of. Unfortunately, the leader for this team is First Form Frieza sucks as the leader for this team because he wants Terrifying Conquerors. So I hope we get another, like, the Majin Buu Saga Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku sucks as the leader for, whatchamacallit. He's bad as the leader for that team. Accelerated Battle. Like, he's not a good Accelerated Battle leader skill character. No way, right? No way. Because he needs those Majin Buu Saga allies. It's a similar thing here for Space Traveling Warriors for First Form Frieza, because he needs the Terrifying Conqueror allies. So, like, both, you know, Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku if we're running Accelerated Battle, and First Form Frieza if we're running Space Traveling Warriors are weakened if we'd run, like, the best roster we could. Jiren is also on Powerful Comeback. Certainly a nice addition to that category. I mean, they do powerful comeback missions all the time, right? So there's that. Jiren is also on, not that one. He's on the Defender of Justice category. Definitely a nice addition to this team as well. If we get him on some team with the Gammas, remember the Gammas would support both Jiren, so that would be good. Then Jiren is also on the Battle of Fate category also. So, I mean, this team is really stacked, though, but this needs a new leader skill as well. Then, Jiren is also on the Tournament Participants category team. Okay, very good. Another good team right there. And then finally, Jiren is another Super Bosses buff. So, the Tanabata Celebration gives us 3 Super Bosses characters. Free-to-play Physical Hit, who's solid for a free-to-play character. EGL LR Jiren, who's probably, I think, the second best character on Super Bosses. And then now we have TEQ Jiren's EZA as well. So, sure enough, the theme of the year continues with Super Bosses being pushed. There's no way Worldwide is going to have Super Bosses characters, right? There's no way. Because, like, we've done Tournament of Power, we did Broly movie, we did the Cell Max, right? Like, you know, we did Beast, we did the Gammas. They would have, like, Worldwide, it would have to be, like, Resurrection F and Battle of Gods. Maybe Universe 6 versus 7. I mean, they could, I guess, you know, build it around the beginning of Super if they really wanted to keep pushing Super Bosses. Because remember, there is no Golden Frieza on Super Bosses. Well, from Resurrection F. This guy counts, but this guy's from the Broly movie, right? There's no Resurrection F Golden Frieza here. So they could do, like, a Golden Frieza from Resurrection F. We also don't have Beerus from Battle of Gods either, right? All the Beeruses are counted as movie boss besides Pajama's Beerus? Yeah. Yeah. So we don't have a Beerus on here either. So they could do a Beerus and a Golden Frieza. I mean, that would be completely... We'd have an LR for, like, every single Super Bosses basically this year, but they could do it. So there we go. There's EZA LR TEQ Jiren. Let me know what you guys think of them. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.